Hi everybody, welcome to another business English skills lesson, and today we're going to be talking about disagreeing. How to disagree politely, respectfully and assertively. And I don't think it really matters whether you're disagreeing with a work colleague, a member of your team, your boss, a client or a supplier. Whenever you're disagreeing, I think it's really important to make sure that you are always polite, always be respectful of other people's opinions, but you have to assert your own opinion in these situations. I think it's also important to remember that although we may disagree with somebody, that doesn't always mean that we are correct and they are wrong. Okay, so you should always be prepared to accept that their opinion is better than your opinion. Okay, but we'll talk about that in another lesson perhaps. Today we're going to be talking about making sure that when you disagree, you are polite, respectful and assertive. So to help with this, I've put together 6 steps, the 6 steps of disagreement. Listen, recognise, ask, verbalise, support and circle back. So let's take a look. What do we mean with these 6 steps? So the first step that we're going to talk about is listen. Pause and listen. Take the time to listen to what somebody is saying. Yeah. I think so. Just taking the time to pause and listen. Pause as in stop speaking, stop trying to express yourself. Listening shows respect for other people. It also demonstrates that you're willing to sort of take information from people and try and understand their point of view. Okay, and I think as a good leader or as a good member of a team, listening is one of those skills that is really underrated. Step 2, recognize. I think it's really important, and again, it doesn't matter whether you're talking to your boss, a client, a supplier, it's always important to recognize that somebody else has a different opinion. It's a great show of respect. People feel included, and recognizing a difference of opinion helps to lower defenses. It helps to stop people getting, agitated and stressed about a situation. So you can do this in very easy ways. Okay, you can, when you want to recognize, you want to get people to give you more information about their opinion. Okay, and here are some good questions or good ways to express this. You just simply say to someone, well, tell me how you see this, or tell me more about how you see this. Can you explain this to me, or can you explain that to me in a little bit more detail? My favorite is, I'd like to understand your viewpoint on this. And I'd like to understand your viewpoint on this is really, it's a good open question that just invites somebody to explain things to you and to give you lots and lots of information. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about, step 3, is ask. And this is where you are going to ask for permission to disagree. Yeah, this step may seem strange. Most of the time, we don't ask for permission to disagree. We just tell them we disagree. But I think if you want to be polite, you want to be seen as being respectful of people, it's important to ask for permission. Now, asking for permission is also a very assertive way of demonstrating your leadership, your role in the discussion. You are making it clear that you are asking for permission, but you're doing it in a very assertive way. Yeah. So a phrase such as, do you mind if I share with you how I feel? Yeah. I understand where you're coming from. Are you open to discussing such and such a thing? Yeah. You're asking for permission to continue the dialogue, and they basically understand that you are going to disagree with them. Yeah. Now this is a very key skill, I think. Yeah. Asking for permission to disagree. After you have asked for permission to disagree, you then have to explain, you have to verbalise, speak and explain your idea or how your idea disagrees with their ideas. Okay. Now, there are some things that you should never, ever do when you are disagreeing. You should never use but or however. The words but or however are aggressive words. When it comes to disagreeing with people, but and however just make the person on the other side of the argument, they go, ooh, it gets them angry. Yeah? Never use but and however. Never frame your suggestion as a question. Okay? You always want to frame your suggestion as a statement, not a question. Okay? And never use the third person. Never say we think, or never say they think, or Bob thinks. Own your opinion. If it's your opinion, own your opinion. So when you are expressing or verbalizing your opinion, we're going to use pronouns like I believe that, I think that, in my opinion, I strongly suggest that, or it's my opinion that. Okay, so these are the phrases that you want to use. These are nice, strong, assertive phrases, but they're also you're also still demonstrating respect, and you're showing that you are very, very polite as well. Okay, so if you remember, we never use but or however. Never frame your suggestion as a question, and as a question you might say, well, how do you feel about this, or what do you think about doing it next Tuesday? Never frame as a question, okay? Because the question is really inviting someone to disagree with you even more, okay? And remember, never use the third person. Own your suggestions, okay? Step 5, and I think this step is pretty obvious. You have to then support your suggestion, your idea. You want to give people a reason to agree with you. Okay, so always be ready to support your idea. So you would say something along the lines of, well, I strongly believe that we need to do this next Tuesday because we don't have the time to do it before then, or after then it will be too late. Yeah, always be ready to support your idea. The final stage, which is circle back to the start of the conversation, I suppose. Get people involved again. Ask people, how do you feel about that now? Tell me what your thoughts are on that. Okay? Get people engaged or re-engaged in the conversation. Okay? Now, this whole process, the 6 steps, I suppose it is a very assertive way to disagree. It's definitely polite. There's no disrespectful language or no disrespectful ideas in this. But I think the idea is assertiveness. Okay. In business, if you are in the position where you perhaps need to, I don't know, negotiate or talk about things, you need to be assertive. Yeah. Assertive people get the job done. Assertive people, assertive people succeed, yeah? And you definitely want to be assertive in your business English dealings, okay? So learn the 6 steps for disagreement, become an assertive disagreeer, okay? But always polite and always respectful.